Alright, chapter 221, the second piece. I just say, the second piece? Neely's growth speed was simply too frightening. They were all aware that Neely was like an eagle that was about to stretch his wings and step onto a stage that they could never do in their lifetimes, reaching a location that was simply unimaginable for them. Neely, with my knowledge and experience, it's impossible for me to provide you with any suggestions anymore. Nihai went silent for a moment and continued. You are without a doubt the most outstanding person among our Heavenly Marks family young generation. I can't imagine how high you'll be able to reach in the future, since you have already made up your mind to go out to train. We will not stop you from doing so. You have already seen through everything in the family's treasury, and there is nothing that can catch your attention anymore. I also feel that ordinary items won't capture your interest either. However, this item has been passed down on our Heavenly Marks family for many generations, and only the successor of the patriarch position could possess it. Hearing Nihai's words, Neely became a little bit puzzled, wondering what could Nihai be speaking of. Something that could only have the patriarch successor could have? Even Ni-En looked at Nihai with a puzzled look, wondering what Nihai was talking about. Even Ni-En and the rest are aware of this item, and I have no idea what the use of this item is. Nihai smiled as he took out an interspatial ring from his chest, retrieving a small box from it. Thereafter, he opened the box and took out something wrapped in a red cloth. Seeing Nihai's actions, Neely and the others became even more curious, wondering what Nihai had been concealing so secretly for so long. Nihai unwrapped the red cloth and took out the item out. Seeing the item, Neely was shocked. It's this! Hearing Neely's words, Nihai looked at Neely in shock and asked, Do you know what this is? Ni-En and Ni-Ming looked at the item in Nihai's hand, feeling a little lost. The item in Nihai's hand is a piece of remnant paper made of unknown material that's as thin as a cicada's wing. When sunlight shines on it, the sun's rays could even penetrate it a little, and it is filled with densely packed words that is difficult to understand. Neely nodded and said, How could he not know what this is? The reason why Neely was able to reborn is greatly linked to this item. In his previous life, Neely's cultivation had already reached to a realm unimaginable by mortals. Even if it's the heavenly fate-ranked experts, in front of people like the past, Neely, they'll be no different from an ant. However, even he at that time, couldn't understand where the temporal demon spirit book came from. At that time, the book wasn't complete as it lacked 8 pages. In his lifetime, Neely found a piece of the temporal demon spirit book's remnant page from Emperor Kongming's empty coffin. He never thought that Nihai would have the second one with him. Since this remnant page was passed down through the patriarchs of Heavenly Marks family, could it be that they are somewhat related to it? Neely couldn't figure it out, even after thinking it over, and gave up. As for those riddles, he'll get to them in the future. I also have a piece with me. Neely took out the remnant page that he has and said, I have a feeling that this remnant page definitely hides a great secret. Patriarch can pass this page to me, to keep it safe. Seeing the piece of paper in Neely's hands, Nihai widened his eyes. He's always known that this remnant page is an extraordinary object, since it's been passed down since ancient times, except he never imagined that Nihai, or Neely, would also have a page with him. He also had no idea what great secret Neely was speaking of, but it's probably something that could only be unraveled by him. You can have it. Nihai passed the piece of paper over to Neely. After receiving the temporal demon spirit book's remnant page and comparing the two, Neely noticed that these two pieces are identical. Even the words on it are exactly the same. Neely knitted his brows. Just what is going on? Are there repeat pages in the temporal demon book, spirit book? Since he couldn't understand it, he gave up on thinking about it and stole the 2 pieces of paper. Neely, since this item has been passed down since ancestral times, you must guard it properly, Li Ming urged. He is a careful person and cautious. Although his son is reaching legend rank soon, when it comes to family, he still remains very humble and careful with his tasks. Therefore, what's the matter about the heirloom? He would naturally not dare to be negligent. I understand, father. Neely nodded his head and continued, I will definitely keep this safe. After Neely chatted with Nihai and the rest for a while, he returned home to have dinner with his family. He felt bad for his family. After his rebirth, he was constantly moved to keep Glory City safe, and therefore did not spend much time with them. However, this time, he has no other option. Once Glory City is truly being safe, only then will Neely be able to relax. The night gradually darkened, and it was a quiet one. That morning, after bidding farewell to his family, he finished his preparations and left. When he reached the Glory City's gates, he saw Yi Xian, Xiao Ninger, and the rest waiting for him. Neely looked towards the distant wall and saw 2 figures standing there. It's Yimo and Yizong. They were watching them from a distance and did not come up to bid farewell to Neely. The golden sunlight shined on their bodies as if placing a golden robe over them. Seeing the 2 firm figures, Neely's eyes flashed a trace of tears. In his previous life, these 2 figures were already soaked in blood from the endless battle. It's because Glory City was under their protection that it managed to remain standing for so long. However, a man will always age, and new blood will be required to take over Glory City to free it of worries. Luo Ming and the 2 have also arrived. Young Master Neely, we're returning to the Netherrealm now. Luo Ming and the other 2 couldn't wait anymore. Before they left, Yimo and Yizong gave them many good items, especially wine. They were simply astonished after taking a sip. They couldn't believe that such delicious wine existed in the world. Comparing the wine here, those back in Netherrealm is simply horse urine. They couldn't wait to return and have their patriarch give it a try. Correct, Neely nodded. Hearing Neely's words, Luo Ming and the 2 couldn't help showing excitement on their faces. Neely looked into the distance. This time, aside from Netherrealm, they will have to proceed towards the 9-layered Desolants. He has no idea what they will encounter in the future. However, it will definitely be magnificent. They might not be able to see the sun for a long time. However, hope will never be extinguished in their hearts. Neely looked at Yi Xian and Xiao Ninger, then at Dua Jian, Liu Piao, Duzi, and the rest. He felt excitement in his heart. He will become extreme expert. Yi Xian, Xiao Ninger, and the rest will also step into the pinnacle realms in the future. What can a small 9-layered Desolants be considered to them? Yi Xian waved towards Yimo and Yizong's direction, since this is her first time leaving home. The group left Glory City and gradually disappeared as they headed towards the entrance of Netherrealm. On the city wall, Yimo and Yizong watched them leave. Father, Yuna and Neely has left, Yizong said, looking at the silent Yimo. Yeah, Yimo nodded his head and sighed. They are fighting for the future of Glory City. After we are already old, I hope that they will be blessed by the heavens. Although he's worried about Yuna, Yimo knows that if she's continued to be sheltered under their wing, it will be impossible for her to grow. Yizong was also praying for the safety of Yi Xian, Neely, and the rest. With their strengths, they should be able to protect themselves. Yizong, I'll leave Glory City to you. I'll make a trip to the Abyss prison route, said Yimo, as his eyes flashed with a ray of light. Since Neely and the rest did not hesitate to head towards the 9-layered Deathlands for Glory City's safety, That's more of a reason why he can't stay and do nothing. Yes, Yuzong answered. Toward Nemo's words, he simply complied unconditionally. In the distant sky, the red sun slowly rose as it shined on the snowy mountain far away, reflecting a sparkling and penetrative luster. This is simply a spectacular scene. Far on the ancestral mountain, Neely and the rest were already far from Glory City as they stepped on the thick snow on the ground, moving towards the direction of the Nether Realm. Within the ancestral mountains, there would occasionally be appearance of snow bears and giant blizzard apes. However, these creatures could no longer pose a threat to Neely and the rest. Since Thyaeria reached Legend Rank, there was a refining effect for the others. During this trip, Neely felt that his soul realm was undergoing rapid changes, and that he was already moved up in a rank. The speed of cultivation is indeed frightening. Who knows? There might be some other shocking uses of the solar ray. Just when the group neared the entrance of the Nether Realm, suddenly two enormous auras were felt by them. The strength of these auras have far surpassed Nemo's. Feeling the two auras, Yi-Yan, who was sitting on Neely's shoulder, suddenly changed her facial expression. Neely, they have come, Yi-Yan immediately warned. Hearing Yi-Yan's words, Neely had a chill in his heart and immediately understood who they were. Thyaeria and the rest also sensed two extraordinary auras and immediately went on guard. In the blizzard, two figures slowly walked over. They were only wearing cloth-made trousers and had all kinds of strange runes on their bodies. One of them is very well built, with an arched body, and both of his arms looked very astonishing, as if they were ape's arms. The other one had a lean figure with rainbow-colored stuff smeared on his face. The bridges on his nose was sharp, and his eyes glimmered with chilling light. His palms were hawk claws. His palms were like hawk claws. Richard Yuan, we have finally found you. Finding you was terrible. Was really terrible. The well-built man bared his teeth, giving the others a sinister feeling about him. Both of us have come all the way from Heavenly Fate Plateau. Since you're no longer hiding at that black spring turtle shell of yours, we'll show you a good time, said the skinny one with a malicious smile as he checked Yuyan out.